Day 12, Broadway Street. Broadway Street is a major street in San Francisco. Definitely you can call it a major street. Would I call it a major thoroughfare? I wouldn't call it necessarily a major thoroughfare in the sense that like Mission, Market, Van Ness, but it is a major main street, and it's an intriguing street. So it begins at the Embarcadero. Excuse me. So honestly, right across the street from the Ferry Building, pretty much, is where Broadway Street begins. So it like touches the edge of FIDI, the financial district. And then it goes up, up through North Beach. North Beach, it's Broadway is pretty much the intersection of North Beach and Chinatown in the 200 to 300 blocks. Broadway then goes through a tunnel. I like the Broadway tunnel because I'm a pedestrian. I think one of the biggest perks in San Francisco is that you can walk everywhere. The Broadway Street tunnel has made my life so much easier because it means you don't have to go through. If it wasn't, let me put it this way, if it wasn't for the Broadway tunnel, you'd be stuck going through over hills, like major hills, literally Russian and Nob Hill. So, okay. So when you enter the Broadway Street tunnel, what is that intersection? It's like one street over from Powell and Broadway. So we're still in the first like 5, 6, I think right there is like 600 Broadway. I know, I walk up and down Broadway a lot. I know the street very well. So I want to say around 600 Broadway is where the tunnel begins. So on that side, like I said, on the 600 side, just one street over from Powell, it's the intersection of Chinatown and North Beach. When you go through the tunnel and it spits you out on Larkin, so that it goes Larkin, and then Polk, right? Polk Street. I could be missing 1 or 2 streets, but I'm pretty sure it's Larkin and then Polk, and Hyde Street is one before. Or one, anyway. So you get out of the tunnel, and then that's the intersection of Nob Hill and Russian Hill, is right there at Polk and Broadway. So Nob Hill is the side with like Pacific, Jackson, Washington, California, Sacramento. And then the Russian Hill side is Vallejo, Green, Filbert, Greenwich, that side. Okay, that's Russian Hill. Keep going, keep walking. Again, following up Broadway, you're gonna pass after Polk Street, Van Ness. Now you're entering Pacific Heights. So Broadway, again, right through Pacific Heights as you pass up Goff, Octavia. They were a couple, by the way. Cute fun fact. Keep going. Fillmore. Now you're pretty much past Fillmore is pretty much what they would call upper Pacific Heights. So keep going. A couple streets past Fillmore, 1 or 2, is Steiner. The corner of Steiner and Broadway, that's the Mrs. Doubtfire house. That's where the Mrs. Doubtfire house is, right there on that intersection. What if I told you that literally 1 or 2 intersections, if you continue going in the direction that I'm telling you, that's the house of former House Speaker Nancy Pelosi. So she lives at the corner of a little right off of Broadway Street, a little cul-de-sac known as Normandy Terrace, and I think that her house is actually on Normandy Terrace, but it's right physically on the corner of Broadway. So then there's a big hill. There's a huge hill. And the top of that hill is Divisadero Street. Divisadero Street, Broadway goes for 3 blocks past Divisadero Street, and those 3 blocks are what is known as Billionaires Row. So Broadway Street ends at Lion. Lion is where the Lion Street steps are. And then that's all I'll say, because I've pretty much just told you a huge part of where my Billionaires Row tour goes. But again, none of this is a secret. Go and find it. But if you want the 6th generation San Franciscan who can give you all the interesting stories and history, well, then you know where to come find me. But anyway, that is Broadway Street, one of my favorite streets in San Francisco.